Hello everyone and welcome back to the 82nd episode of PandTha Talks. This time I remembered, and just as a heads up, we will sound weird this episode because Discord's gone down in a weird way. Or is going down.
Yay! Also, hi! It's
Yeah,
technically not gone down. It's just having issues where, mic keeps cutting out for a few seconds. And it's not a massive issue, but it is an inconvenience because it makes it kind of awkward to do something like this.
Exactly. So what we're having to do right now, because we use the element of Discord for the actual name tags to track when we're talking, we're both sat in Discord, but we're using Steam calls, which is why our mics might sound a bit dodgy. It's funny, it's interesting how we've done it, but it works.
I mean, if it works, it works. We'll see how it goes.
Exactly that, my friend. So, we have a pretty much continuation from last week going into these online gaming stats. I will probably cover the first bit again and just go a bit further into it. But after that, we'll be discussing mostly Black Ops 6 and how the beta is going in that regard. And then we'll be discussing Concord, which is, I believe it was sort of like Sony's response to like Overwatch. Anyways, it did absolutely abysmal. It's come on PC as well, and I believe they average at about 185 players at once.
Yeah, so, I saw the TikTok for that actually.
Yeah, I also saw
about how apparently Wukong was doing worse or something. And then Wukong has like record-breaking numbers.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I guess Concord kind of has as well, you know?
Oh, yeah. Record low. I mean...
It's there in the top two.
Yeah, well. Yeah, Wukong, at this very second, has 1.3 million.
That is absolutely mental.
Yeah, so I don't think anyone can really say too much.
I love how when it drops is because everyone's getting off to go to bed.
Pretty much, yeah. Anyways.
Over 2 million though they were at.
Oh yeah. Anyways, let's start this episode properly, and we'll get into this. Good to know. So physical hardware sales, Sony PS5, it brought in £361.9 million in 2022 and £529 million in 2023.
Close to double, and it did say above that it is the preferred console seemingly among players.
Oh yeah. The Xbox Series brought in $253.6 million in 2022 and $211.2 million in 2023, which is a 16.7% loss.
I wonder if that's because players are switching over to PC now that there's so much compatibility with the games, especially including Game Pass.
Well, that's the thing. They don't state that anywhere, do they? So
obviously that's not going to be. That's not going to be added in the list. That's what I'm saying. Like, I wonder if that's the cause of the drop.
You know what I do find weird though? The PS4.
People are still in PS4. Xbox One has nothing.
Yeah, I'm 0 million. 0 million. Minus 53.3%. Oh, okay.
Good grasp,
anyway,
man.
This is how it looks in actual realism. So 57% is Sony PlayStation 5, 22% is the Xbox Series, 20% is Nintendo Switch, and 1% is Sony PS4.
It's kind of strange that PS4 is still there.
PS4 is a pretty reasonable console.
I think it's just people that refuse to upgrade.
I can see why, to be honest. Cheaper. And they still have support for a while, you know, it's not like it immediately loses it. So software sales by brand. Sony, £232.9 million in 2022 and £237.5 million in 2023, 2% increase. Nintendo, bloody hell, they've had a bit of a loss. $223.5 million to $199.8 million that's 10.6% loss, and Microsoft 56.5 million to 50.9. 56.5, sorry, to 50.9, 10% loss overall. Volume of software sales. I'm unsure what they're referencing though by software. What are we talking about here? Are we talking about the OS? Are we talking about games? What? What is the classification?
They're clearly not talking about much if they're saying Microsoft is down in sales.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking.
I don't think it's possible for Microsoft to be down in sales.
No, not the entire company anyways. What are the most popular gaming accessories? Now, this one I think is a bit of a struggle because you need to take into consideration I could buy a controller for an Xbox and never use it for the Xbox but use it for the PC solely without anything else. And that would be classified as an accessory for a console. That, I think, they can't really work that out, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's no way of knowing unless you were literally to force a survey on people after purchasing it, which most of them are going to just X off of it.
Yeah. On top of that, total PC accessories. Now, what are you classifying? Because I can tell you for a fact, if you're classifying only gaming accessories, you're talking gaming mice, gaming keyboards, gaming headsets, anything with gaming in the word, of course there's going to be less.
Which none of mine have in their name.
Exactly. But a lot of people will just buy a box standard mouse or a box standard keyboard because it works. End of the day, it doesn't need to be expensive. It will work.
They're not bog standard, but they're not got gaming in them either. My mouse might actually have it, but it's only £18.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is a lot of people would use just box standard stuff to start out. And a lot of them will just keep buying box standard because it's cheaper.
Just as proof that like what you buy, what supposed quality of items you buy doesn't necessarily make you a better gamer. Because I think if you can buy my mouse, my keyboard, my headset, and my mic, I think it cost me like £70 for the lot.
I don't want to play this game.
And I routinely demolish anyone that I come across on Rust and get clip after clip after clip out of that game.
I don't want to play this game anymore.
I don't even want to know how much yours costs, to be honest. I would say one of your peripherals costs more than my 4.
My headset, I think, is about 150, 200 quid.
Just completely unnecessary in my eyes.
Give me a second.
Oh, God.
JBL 1. So I adore JBL. I will always buy their stuff. I'm not sponsored by them at all. We don't have any sponsors on this channel. We just say what we say and believe what we believe. That's kind of us. I believe it's the JBL Quantum 910. I bloody adore this thing. Yeah, 188 quid. But this thing is phenomenal. The audio quality is spot on. Comfort, amazing. I don't use the mic, though, very often.
I don't have any issues with any of that stuff. I hear audio better than any person I've played with in video games, especially in a game like Rust, where audio can be very important. You hear the slightest little tiptoe someone makes. I've never had any discomfort issues. My ears don't hurt. My head doesn't get sore from it sitting on my head or anything like that. So I just don't see the need for spending this absurd amount of money.
That's where you and me differ. My head, I have situations like where I've got some scabs, which basically just from itching and scratching.
I have psoriasis on my head, man.
Yeah, exactly.
I routinely slice my head open because my psoriasis is flared up and I've been scratching all day.
Will you let me continue, sir? Stop cutting me off. God.
Give me a valid point, damn it.
This is what I'm trying to do. Anyway.
But you haven't successfully done it.
And let me talk. So,
never.
Basically, due to that, and also due to wearing glasses, which makes a massive fucking ingrain on the side of my head, which causes absolute fucking agony, I ended up having to find more comfortable headsets. I started out with like fucking cheap Turtle Beach.
Consider just seeing.
have you considered fucking off?
Well, Roy's doing this episode solo today. See you later, guys.
Wouldn't be the first one. But
hey, that was literally like two times. One of them you did on your own accord.
Exactly. But
the other was because I was not well.
Yeah. But the thing about this is, to be honest with you, I get a lot of comfort out of it. Audio quality, I could rival you. And I could hear better than you in games. It's just because you and me don't play this sort of games.
But the thing is, though, is I have people that have headsets that are well over £100. Yeah. And they can't seem to hear half the things I hear.
Yeah, they're just inept.
Which...
I know your gaming group. You can't argue that.
And then they seem to hear things that no one else hears because they are. It's just that. They're just hearing it.
Yeah.
It can be very questionable sometimes.
But yeah, these things are bloody phenomenal. A bit expensive, but I do like them.
A bit.
Mouse I use, G502 Hero. Absolutely adore this mouse. Phenomenal. It's actually rated as one of the best mice that there is. It's actually come down a lot. It used to be about 50 quid. So
£25 fine.
Yeah. So then I've got the G910, which is a gaming keyboard I use, that's from Logitech officially.
That's just mental.
That is absurd. Yeah, about £39, that's what I'd expect. Like, these prices are about expected. Though. Yeah, I know, but even I bought them when they were on sale on Amazon. I think they were about £70 at the time, and that was with the mouse. So, you know what I mean? That wasn't too bad.
My keyboard could definitely be better, but it does exactly what I wanted to do, and it's comfortable, and that's the most important thing for me, because that's like one of the most common things you hear about when people who don't game talk to people who game, and they're like,
yeah,
oh, you can get serious carpal tunnel.
Can you? Really?
It's like, yeah, if you sit and you have your elbow doing a loop-de-loop, your wrist is pulling, and your fingers are sitting like a fucking rock star, sure, you're going to have fucking carpal tunnel.
Oh, true. And
if
that's
you find
the
something
mouse.
that's comfortable, that you enjoy, that like you can set your hand on and not have issues, then you're fine.
Oh, yeah. It's honestly, I've never really suffered with carpal tunnel. I've got RSI. That's due to stupidity, though.
I don't think I have any issues. Like issues I have with my hands is from work, and that's like that's basically just salt seeping into my hands for like a year and a half straight.
Well, you need to take into consideration I work in IT as well, so I don't have a rest on my hands. And sometimes you work with some of the dumbest mouse known to man. That's the mic I use, by the way. So
I think if I did your job, I would literally just carry a spare of my mouse around, so as to not have to use a different mouse, and just rip what the fuck, just rip whatever mouse out that's there. Yeah, no.
Someone who works in my office has one of those.
No, I would literally rip it out and just plug mine in.
Abysmal. But yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I don't even think I'd want to touch the mouse, anything connected. I think I'd just unscrew the USB port and pull the port out.
Honestly, mate, I literally use the trackpad at that point. So, let's move past our slight deviation there. That was a deviation.
Simply put, I spend about 70 quid. Roy spends about 400.
Now about 250.
If you were to get the keyboard as it is, and not secondhand or on offer.
I got it on offer though, so fuck you.
Yeah, so you'd be spending about 400.
No, about 350. Fuck you.
It'll be 400 a minute when you have to take a fucking trip to the optician and get a new pair of glasses.
I have to do that anyways, thank you. Anyways.
Well, I'll wait until you beat them, then I'll make it 450.
So, gaming accessories sold. Bastard. DualSense wireless controllers for PS5, white, 460,000. DualSense wireless controls for PS5.
I wonder how many of these are
243,000.
replacements.
I wonder how many are replacements for stick drift or something like that, and how many have been bought by PC gamers. Because you might not know this, you might do, but when the PlayStation 5 controller came out, because it has basically it fucking vibrates when you're firing with it in games. People switched from the Xbox controller as the default for PC use to the PS5. It's very good when it comes to things such as like driving games. Shooters, it feels interesting, but that's about it. So yeah, a lot of people switched over to them. So I wonder how many figures in that actually takes into account. It'd be interesting to see.
I think that has to be one of the worst things for console, though, is stick drift is such a big issue.
Oh, it's horrific.
It can happen so easily sometimes, and it's so annoying. Like, the only issue I ever get with my mouse is I have weird habits where I'm pushing down on certain areas for absolutely no reason. It's not even the key, and I end up just slowly wearing it down and breaking it. And I say slowly, it's a bit quicker than slow.
That doesn't shock me at all. I've had the same mouse for like 6 years.
You remember how many, when I told you about how many control keys I went through, because I have a habit of pushing down on that for even whenever I'm doing nothing.
Oh, yeah.
And it ends up just snapping in half from being pushed down so much. I think I went through at least 6 control keys.
You know what, Will? Shall we cover something a bit more interesting than accessories? Yes. How popular is virtual reality gaming? This might shock you a bit. So, we're in 2024. We're at 13.3 million VR headsets sold. So, we're getting a lot more... I would say
at least 10 million of those are being weebs on VR chat.
Probably. Before that, it was 9.6, then it's 8.6. Those were 2 years ago.
Quite the jump there between this year and last year.
It is. And it's expecting that next year will be 17.2 million with 1.6 million AR headsets.
Then
it's
I don't know if I care for AR.
See,
like, it's cool, but I don't know. Could you just imagine me cycling into work with a headset on my head? I would be dead in 5 minutes.
You would. But also, my MetaQuest 3 works for both. So which one does it come under?
That's a good question. That honestly might be like where the majority of the sales are coming from.
Yeah. It's like the Apple
I'd say
Vision
they'd be
Pro.
cool for like an hour or two doing a couple things, farting around in it, but I don't know.
Honestly, the reason I
would
bought
care for doing much.
The MetaQuest 3 is because it's got better lenses and the controls are better. And it has better systems overall. So that way it works better for my VR. Simple as that. I bought it for the VR elements.
If you can get your whole house hooked up to where it'll do things, if you're doing things by doing it in VR, then it starts doing it. So you can just sit in your chair spinning around and pointing at things and it starts doing stuff, then I'll absolutely get an AR headset.
Like, you can. I've seen people start doing stuff with it, but it's the amount of money it would cost to get that set up.
Oh, it would be so much money.
Oh, yeah. So, worldwide VR gaming content revenue. 2019 was $1.37 billion. 2020 was $1.8 billion. It's forecast that in 2025 it'll be $6.9 billion in the market.
I don't think that's very accurate.
No, it doesn't feel it.
Those 2 years would have been COVID, where everyone's inside. VR was still quite new. Everyone was getting into it. But if we look at like this year and last year, and even say the year before, like, you've not seen too much VR stuff happening. Mm-hmm. There's been some good releases and some really cool stuff. But when you compare it to like when the likes of Half-Life Alyx came out,
what a game.
Bone Labs and all those kind of games were coming out, that felt more like the peak than now does.
Oh, of course it did. But there's one thing you're not taking into account. And this requires to come to our good old friend SteamDB, who has never let us down once. I'm going to have to fucking shift this. There we go. That was annoying me. I do apologize. So the one thing you're not taking into account is growth. Growth of certain games that, in my opinion, should not be growing. Should stay dead. But
I mean, that's just sort of averaging.
yeah, I agree.
Oh my God.
But there's one weird part that you need to take. Player drop-off to player retention. What are the chances that every single one of these people are retained every time it's logged on?
Absolutely.
There'll be new players jumping on every couple times. Reason? Their friends say so. And also you need to take into account, this isn't just Steam. This is Meta, it's Apple, it's whatever. It's wherever they can launch from. Which is why there's estimations. So it's a bit weird to say, and it's a bit of a confusing one, but this sadly brings in more than anything else. And that annoys me. Mainly because of the audience that have started to gather there, shall we say. But
yeah.
that's a conversation for another day.
Isn't it just?
That would be a video in itself.
Yeah, VR is a hard one to sort of get specifics out of.
Oh, too true is. But I thought this one might intrigue you. What are the most significant cloud gaming subscriptions? So, PlayStation Plus at 47.4 million.
Jesus Christ.
That is a load of bullshit.
My God.
Same with Game Pass, because that's a load of bullshit as well. You see, these are claimed to be cloud gaming subscriptions. Game Pass is, PlayStation Plus is. Now, how many pay for Game Pass Ultimate Edition or Cloud Edition that allows them to use it? How many in PlayStation Plus actually utilize the service or pay for the full service to be able to utilize it? How many on Nintendo do the same? We can see very quickly these numbers would drop drastically. But they don't care. They're not working off those numbers. Most people pay this for this one so they can play online with their friends. That's it. It's the entire purpose.
This is a horribly laid out grid because the words are inside of each other.
Yeah, it's horrific. Like, that should be over there. Way over there. Yeah. EA should be over there.
I don't know.
I don't even know what they've done there. Wait, Xbox should be over there. GeForce and Nvidia should be there. Oh, whatever. Anyways, but yeah, that's kind of the thing that I'm getting at here. A lot of this is just paid online.
Yeah, and that's the worst thing about consoles.
Just got default Game Pass, which that doesn't even give you access to the cloud gaming area. So
that's what I hate about consoles, though. Like, you have to pay just to be able to get on with your friends. Like, it's one thing that you've had to pay for the console and continuously pay for new games that very rarely get discounts when they're like owned by the console, the publisher as well. So like, unless they're like 5 years old, you don't really. Just
keep going.
You need help, Roy. I forgot what I was saying now. But yeah, the fact that they even the cloud they're having to pay for. If you look at Steam, there's a lot of stuff that's just uploaded to the cloud anyway.
Oh yeah,
like you can play cloud on Steam. You can build a new PC, log into your Steam, and download a game that has cloud save data, and resume your playthrough of whatever game.
This is a little different, Will. So when these are on about cloud, they're on about like you're launching from like a website. And you're using the resources provided by that company. So basically, you pay them money, they will then proceed to give you a subscription that you can access. NVIDIA GeForce Now is the best one to use as an example here. They have a bunch of servers running PCs that are high specs.
Oh, so you're on about
basically a PC and you play that. Cloud game. Right. That's what it is.
Right.
So you can play it on your phone, on a website, anything like that. You just plug the controller. I was not aware
this is what we were on about. If this, now I'm fully with you. Why you're saying these numbers would drop, because I would say you wouldn't get 1 million people using those, utilizing that system.
You don't get many at all. Now, GeForce and NVIDIA.
I cannot see this system like lasting long either. The NVIDIA one,
That is
it can be a
accurate.
good option.
Because that is literally what it is. Game Pass, I have used it. PlayStation Plus, I actually tested that. I think you remember me on about it, where I basically have to use a PlayStation controller to play the games.
Yeah, you were forced to use it.
Yeah. Basically, what that does, same with the Game Pass version of Cloud, if you want to use it, you plug in a controller of that type, and it will host a online version of their PlayStation or Xbox operating system for you to play games on. But I don't remember Nintendo Switch ever having one. So I think that's a bit weird. Yeah, it allows users to play video games on remote servers. I don't remember Switch having one of those, but I'll have to look into that later. And sorry, the correction I made earlier. PlayStation Plus comes first with 47.4 million subscribers. This service offers a blend of cloud gaming and traditional subscription benefits, including free. It's not free if you have to pay a price, you donut. Monthly games and online multiplayer capabilities.
Yeah, you have to pay for it to get online. Like,
yeah,
the online isn't free. You're not, because like no one else is using the rest of the services. They're only using it to get online to play.
I was on about the free monthly games thing. You can't call the games free if you have to pay to access them. Like, once you claim this monthly game...
That's how they get you, though. Like, people are sick of spending money constantly. Whenever it says free, they suddenly think they're getting something extra when they're not.
The thing is, like, if I was... You know what? I'm doing this. It's the only way I can think to, like,
here we go. He's pulled up MS Paint. Now you know he's getting
pulled
serious.
Up MS Paint. Now you know I'm serious about it. Is it?
Shit's getting real now.
Oh yeah. I can't remember how you do it now.
He's still trying to figure out how to lay this out.
Pretty much. That's why. I see. Okay.
We could do a pie. You buy a quarter of the pie for $2.50. So you buy 3/4 of the pie for $10, or you get the whole pie.
I figured out how to do it now. So you pay for your PSN. I can't do things very well. I've got dyspraxia. Fuck you. Anyways, you pay for your PSN so that you can get online. Yeah? That's the entire reason you're doing this.
Your God, this is...
I told you it was bad.
This hurts.
I know, right?
I'd rather you lay out a PowerPoint at this point.
I can do that. Anyways, so you get your PSN, that way you can pay online. One benefit of it is you get access to a selection of new games. So I'm just going to put games.
There's two text boxes everywhere, man. This is fucking awful. This hurts. Draw a line.
I don't care. Listen to me. So that's one of your benefits. You get access to a game, and it will allow you to claim a free, in quotations mark, game. Now, if you, let's say you can't pay for it 1 month, so you lose your PSN subscription, that free game you got is now not accessible. Neither is online, neither is anything else. Now, the online you didn't expect to get, but the game that you supposedly got for free, you did. But you can't access it until you next get your PSN back. That's the entire process. I think it's the dumbest shit in the world. I really do. It is so scummy. And I don't get how they can fucking get away with it. Also, I need to get better at using MS Paint. Just for fuck's sake.
I think you should just choose to not use it.
Ever again?
I think you just uninstall it from your Windows PC. I think even your PC cried a little, having to be the one who ran that.
Ouch.
I feel bad for it, to be honest. It had to ingrain that into your monitor. How could you be
right?
So
I have
cruel?
never in my life made a claim that I was good at drawing, writing, or anything of that sort.
I don't care. That was just... I don't even know.
Anyways. Services. Here we go. So, as service goes, these are the ones that are most known by the UK public. Xbox Game Pass is at 68%. PlayStation Plus 66, Xbox Live Gold 63. Remember when
I wonder if
fucking
a little.
Why is that back over there again?
I wonder if a little further down we'll end up seeing some better numbers for like what versions of Game Passes people have.
Sadly not. I don't believe so. Google Play Pass 58, Nintendo Switch Online 55, Amazon Prime Gaming 50, EA Play 49, Netflix games 49. I didn't even remember that Netflix had a games thing. PC Game Pass 49%.
But
I still find that a bit weird, but yeah.
Is that just the Microsoft Xbox shit or what?
Yeah, that's the PC version of Game Pass, so it just works on our side. Apple Arcade 47%. I know, right? Ubisoft Plus 39%.
Ah, yes, Ubisoft, the best developers at the moment.
Oh yeah, definitely. GeForce Now 20%. Vortex 16%. I was proud of that. Humble Choice 15%. Utomic. I still have no idea what this is.
Couldn't tell you. Is this a cloud gaming?
I think it is.
That's like the first thought. Yeah. Bus Simulator 18. Hell yeah. Bridge Constructor. Oh. Mini Metro.
I've not seen like half of these games. Stealth Bastard. I like the name at least. But yeah, which areas have the best internet speed? I don't think we care enough about this.
I mean, full fiber is they're attempting to put it everywhere now. So
yeah. How big is the gaming culture market? Toys and merchandising, £207 million. Film, TV, and soundtracks, £124 million. Streaming and video content, £62.8 million. Books and magazines, £14.1 million. And events and venues, £10.3 million.
Events is probably going to continue to plummet.
So, let's cover some diversity in the gaming industry, shall we? This will be fun. This will go well, I'm sure. How diverse is the gaming industry? 25 or younger, 13%, 26 to 30, 26%. The part that shocks me about this is the 51 or older and 46 to 50 has been actually a total of 12%. I'm kind of surprised by that, honestly. Because it almost rivals the people below. Yeah. So then you got the diversity of male to female to non-binary / other, which is male 67%, female 30%, and non-binary / other 3%. Before anyone says, this clearly shows an issue with diversity in the industry. If more people want to join the industry, all they have to do is learn the field and start out in it. If you don't want to, that's up to you, but everyone's got equal chance.
Say I definitely run into more guys than I do girls playing games. And when I say more guys, it's a serious emphasis. Like it's mainly males you would run into. Yeah. So I can, at the same time, I can understand why there would be more males in the business side of the industry as well.
Oh yeah. But
it's not even like there's no sexism around it. It's just we seem to just prefer them more.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong. If a girl does and they want to join the industry, feel free. You do that. It's
no one's going to stop you. No one cares.
Yeah, no one's going to stop you from doing it. Trust me, there's some idiots out there that'll say some bad words, at which point just tell them to fuck off.
We don't speak for those people.
No, we don't. We don't even acknowledge their existence. That's why we just tell them to fuck off. Ethnic groups. White British, 66%. White other, 24%. Asian, 5%. Mixed multiple, 2%. Black, 2%. And other, 2%.
This is a grid that I will never like whenever it comes to just seeing what's going on in something. I don't see the need to know like what someone is.
Yeah.
They're just a person. They're just a person playing a video game.
Yeah, I'm gonna put it there so people can look at it, but it's your choice if you want to cover it. But I do need to
I fall under that 4%.
Look, I'm there. They actually acknowledged me.
Look who's looking down on someone now, bitch.
Just because there's less of us.
Soon there'll be none of you.
Fucking take me on, bastard.
There'll be one less anyway. One less of both.
Yeah. How big are esports? They're forecasting that to increase to 1.87 billion. Biggest esport prizes, I still find this mad. Dota 2, run by Valve, $30.82 million cumulative tournament prize fund. You can take a look at the esports
Was that not
stuff.
recent?
And don't believe so. I think that was a while back.
I swear there was a recent one that had like a 30 mil total prize fund.
Wouldn't shock me. I'm just going to scroll through these so people can take a look. I'm not going to go into each every single one of them. They actually have the power to run a console.
Oh my god!
I don't know.
It costs for an 80-hour game.
Yeah. Which it was actually kind of mad to see, but the PS5 is actually more power consumptive. Takes up more power consumption.
Can we get some estimations for certain styles of PCs?
Let's not ever. But yeah, that entire thing is actually in our Discord in the research section. If you want to look into it, please feel free. It's interesting to read, and it is definitely helpful to back up certain points, but that's as much as I can cover it in. Why does that keep moving over there? Anyways, in good news, we can finally move on.
Just open it and look at it, switches between it.
Will is communicating.
Apologies.
It's okay.
You just seeing that just made me realize I haven't looked at my electric meter for a while. As in, like, I think 2 weeks. I haven't looked at it.
That's terrifying.
So if I suddenly cut out, you know why.
I'm using too much. How Black Ops 6 being forced to wipe the slate clean led to its biggest new feature. Now, what I'm pretty certain they're on about there is probably their Omni movement system. It is. It is indeed.
How is this, like, gonna change the game, though?
So, Omni movement, I thought, when I was playing, it was like, it's okay, it's pretty cool. Like, you get further when you're sliding, you can throw yourself further, sure. It pretty much removes a lot of the dickheads, that jump about, bunny hopping everywhere, trying to, avoid you. But there's no drop shots either. You just see people diving everywhere, which I can get behind. But what I need to address is, while playing the beta over the last 2 days, genuinely, I have had the thought of, it's been such a bloody weird experience. Don't know what about it, but it feels clunky. Even they've got like a little tutorial sort of area where they proceed to get you to do certain tasks, like dive left and shoot a target, dive right and shoot a target, dive back and shoot a target. It's like, diving back's easy. Diving left or right, that takes a few bloody attempts your first time, especially on PC, when you've got to hold down shift, run to the left, and hit control, and then aim and fire at the same time. Easy to do with a bit of practice, but first couple of times you're a bit like, where?
The control shift and left would really fuck me, because I only really use 2 fingers on the left.
Yeah, same.
Using my middle finger I'd have to use my middle finger to hit A, and that would just feel so wrong.
Oh, you're weird.
How am I weird?
What?
My middle finger is W, because I'm almost always holding W. It doesn't get a choice.
My left my ring finger is A. Yeah. And at worst case goes down to shift, but I prefer never to do that. And then my pinky is shift and control.
Yeah. Yeah. And like holding shift and control would be like, it can be awkward sometimes, because the way my hand sits as well, I'd have to flatten the pinky to hit both of those.
That's how I do it.
No, because of the way my hand sits, that's not very comfortable for me.
Genuinely, I have to I always have my shift held down, then I'll just drop my finger entirely to hit control.
No, see, I've gotten used to having 2 binds now for crouching.
Yeah.
So that whenever I'm running to the left, I don't have the extra finger to move down to control, because I'm using shift. I'd have to use shift, control, and then left key. I would then have C to use with my
Yeah,
thumb, and
I
then the same
use
vice
C a lot
versa. If I'm
myself.
running to the right, I obviously can't. Using C isn't well. I could use C, but like I can just use Control if I really need to.
Yeah. So I've just had to move past that because it's just all about omni movement and omni movements. It's
I don't
already
know.
been discussed to hell and back.
We had a very short talk about it, and I said to you, I don't think there's really anything that could ever bring me back to COD multiplayer, the PvP aspect, because it's the same thing. Like at the end of the day, it's just running around circles, shooting each other, and if there's an objective, you do the objective, and the objective is always the same sort of crap. It's just TDM, free for all, deathmatch, search and destroy, domination. There's nothing.
Yeah.
There's no way. I don't think that they could ever change it.
No,
it's not gonna. It's not gonna ever bring me back.
To be honest with you, mate, it's the same shit. It really is.
It is. All they do is the graphics look different and the guns look different, but they all pretty much still act the exact same.
Yeah. I'll be honest, like the zombies in the campaign are the only things that are bringing me back to this Black Ops 6.
But zombies will always have intrigue in, but yeah. I've sort of just lost interest altogether in Call of Duty.
Understandable. It's been dying for a long time.
If I wanted to play a campaign, I'd go find a single player game that will last more than 3 hours.
Fucking true. Poor Modern Warfare 3. So Call of Duty Black Ops 6 beta already has cheaters, which is fun.
I mean, what can you say?
The thing is, like, this is to be expected. I don't know how they didn't realize this.
Same systems, same engines, probably.
Yeah, exactly.
People are gonna be through it in seconds, man.
And the thing is, like, right, I'm gonna pull this up just so that people can understand what's going on here. So, you launch. Give it a second. You can show up. There you go. You launch this, which is Call of Duty HQ. This isn't actually just Call of Duty. This is Modern Warfare 3. If I actually pull up the add-ons, that's what it was. It was Modern Warfare 3 that I downloaded.
Dear God.
So, Black Ops 6 then released the beta for it. And basically, you get switched between. So, you start off, you've launched Modern Warfare 3. Then you got to swap over to Black Ops 6. It's the exact same game and the exact same engine so that it works with the exact same launcher.
So the cheats were basically already made.
Exactly. It just bypasses
probably saw a few minor adjustments, and that's probably all they had to do. So
Call of Duty Black Ops 6 beta, which is just has been live for just over a day, is already facing significant issues as cheaters have infiltrated the game's lobbies. Reports are flooding in from Black Ops 6 players who have encountered hackers tainting the early experience of what is supposed to be the testing ground for the upcoming title. Cheating has been a persistent issue within the Call of Duty franchise, with hackers consistently managing to circumvent the developers' ongoing efforts to address the issue.
Unless you go back to like the first Modern Warfare or World at War, where cheaters are just making the lobbies absolutely chaotic rather than having to make up for their own mistakes and slaughter everyone with infinite rounds and aimbot because they can't do anything else in life.
Yeah, it's funny. Like, I remember Payday 2 cheaters. They didn't cause you issues. They took the piss. They had fun with you.
That's what cheaters used to be like, man.
Yeah, I remember being on on Payday 2. This was only about 7 years back. Something like that. Anyways, there was a hack pack, or mod pack as some people know it as, called Pirate Perfection. And this was a long time ago. They've gone out of business since. But someone had this pack, and I only knew this because it popped up Pirate, and I'd heard about it prior. Anyways, they had it on. All of a sudden, before the bloody car heist DLC that they brought out.
Yep.
Yeah, before that even existed, this fucking hack pack spawned in a car for them to ride around in. So people were just fucking riding around in the front of a bank. It's like, what the fuck is going on out there? You've got like 170 sentries just fucking pointing out into the street, murdering anything and everything. Grenade shooting sentries. It was just absolute insanity, but it was amusing to watch, and you weren't too bothered. Nowadays, though, it's just fucking.
Yeah, I want to know like when we went from cheaters that just give you like a really unique experience, that one lobby you ended up joining in because they were just making the lobby crazy, giving you random stuff from their mod menu and just throwing shit everywhere. And then we just suddenly jumped and it's, oh, this person's better than me, so I gotta buy some cheats so I can be better than them. And that's really all it is.
Honestly, I think
why else she gonna cheat?
I think it happened during the GTA 5 time because basically when you started out in GTA 5, if you ever played any online or anything, which I doubt you did, but
I have not even owned the game.
Yeah, exactly. So I played a lot of it, and back in the early days of it releasing, hackers would give you money in game, which pretty fucking helpful to be honest, because it was a grind fest of a game. But as time progressed, hackers stopped doing things that were nice and started to kick you from lobbies, cage you, kill you, everyone on the map with explosions all at once. Just be absolute nightmares to everyone. They had the options to like give people things or, just be nice overall. Fucking change things about the game to make the lobby amusing. All of a sudden, in the past like 3 to 5 years, they went from being nice to just horrific, caging everyone on the server so they couldn't do anything. The only thing you can do is reload your lobby and hope you get a new one. It just wasn't fun. But I'd say that definitely had something to do with it.
Yeah, and it's just went downhill from there. And now you don't get those cool lobbies anymore where you cannot figure out what's going on. You're just running through a literal war zone of random crap happening. Now it's just you can't even play it because you're just, the moment you spawn, you're dead. You spawn, you're dead. You spawn, you're dead, and that's all it is.
Exactly that, man.
Or if you're in the likes of the games that I play, like Rust, you just have to sit in your base and wait until they either get banned, which can take literal weeks, even though they're being unbelievably blatant, or you just wait for them to move on to someone else.
Yeah. No, I know exactly what you mean with that. Cheating has been a persistent problem within the Call of Duty franchise, with hackers constantly managing to circumvent the developers' ongoing efforts to address the issue. The most recent surge in cheating coincided with the release of Modern Warfare 3 on Xbox Game Pass. In response, the franchise implemented a series of decisive measures, including banning over 65,000 accounts to clear ranked leaderboards, targeting lobby scraping apps, and rolling out significant updates to the Ricochet anti-cheat system to improve its effectiveness.
Banning accounts, it doesn't do anything. Like no. we need like some in sort of way to IP ban people, like some games do, because it is not difficult for people who are cheating to get a brand new account for probably next to nothing, or they just have the money sitting there because they do nothing else. They just buy a new account, install the game again, and get straight back on.
Yep.
Like, banning an account does absolutely nothing. They will be back in 5 minutes.
Too bad they can't do MAC address bans. Now that would cause issues.
There are going back to Rust again, if you're playing a modded server, obviously the people who own the server, they know like your IP address, or at least roughly, and you can be IP banned very easily.
IP bans though don't change if you have a VPN.
But they can then link you to accounts that have been banned. Through that same IP and auto ban you on suspicious account or anything like that.
Oh, too.
So as to not have the issue again, and it's just it makes it so much better.
But once again, the moment you have a IP or VPN, you can bypass that. The reason
they have other systems in place though that if it's able to detect that you have a VPN, which seems to be 9 out of 10 times, then it'll kick you from the server and tell you to disable VPN before you can rejoin.
That seems awkward, but I do respect that change.
But like, if you're playing a game, why do you need a VPN?
A lot of people do. Do you remember the days of being kicked off and having systems crashed just because you were in a game session?
I've never had that issue, though.
You were lucky. Primarily,
I
old Call of Duty lobbies, to be honest. But
I didn't really get that chance, as you were aware of. But these days, that's not really an issue that persists unless you're in a place where their rules are kind of awkward and you can't get on certain games.
Oh yeah.
So you have to use a VPN to say you're in a different country so that you're able to play the game. Yep. That's fine. That's fully understandable. But then you contact the admins, you tell that you should go on about this. The worst that happens, they let you on. They monitor you. If they think you're cheating, you get banned. If not, they're like, right, he's good. Let him do his thing. Whitelist him.
I mean, you see.
Whereas, like, I don't know.
The reason I said a MAC address is because the MAC address is the address of your
device itself.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. That can only be changed by modifying the parts inside the device.
Be banned. Gotta just rip out my motherboard.
Do you see why I mean? Why I think it'd be a better option?
Yeah.
Like that.
I feel like there's loads of better options than what we're currently doing, but just banning the account does absolutely nothing.
Oh yeah, everyone.
It never has helped.
But this is the thing: Call of Duty and that do not care, because what do they get? New account, more money.
I'm gonna be honest. If it's the actual publisher dealing with it, or not the publisher, the developer dealing with it, they don't care. They act like they're trying to do things, but as long as they're getting more money, they couldn't care less.
Exactly.
It's community stuff that is doing more than anything. And so saying the modded servers on Rust, because the Fist Punch servers, oh my god, they're horrific. I stay away from them at all costs. You ever watch a streamer play it, and it's just you get more cheaters than you do normal players.
It's just mental.
Whereas the modded servers, where it's a person who's not part of the Fist Punch team, is hosting it, and they can get these add-ins and plugins and all that jazz.
Oh yeah. Plugins used to be like done through Minecraft, even that back then, doing IP
even nowadays. It still goes on all the servers you can join. They all have it.
I'm pretty sure as well. Minecraft used to have Mac bans. I could be wrong about that, but I'm pretty certain they did. So, the Call of Duty Black Ops 6 beta launched on August 30th. Offering pre-order customers an early opportunity to experience the game ahead of its official release on October 25th. However, much like last year's Modern Warfare 3 beta, this beta also fell victim to widespread cheating. Within hours of its release, clips showcasing cheaters using wall hacks, aimbots, and other exploits began circulating on social media. One clip being shared by Modern Warzone gained significant attention, showing a cheater effortlessly killing other players, underscoring the ongoing challenges of curbing cheating within the franchises. What in the ever-living... Why would you want to play like this?
Doesn't seem like the bunny hopping has been fixed. People are still jump shotting around corners.
Yeah, that's the first time I've actually dealt with or even seen someone jump shot.
It's just how people play.
I don't like it.
It's just the player base, man. The player base is so bad in these games nowadays.
Why would you want to play like that?
Because you got beat in a video game and you can't beat them, so you got annoyed, and now this is what they're doing.
This would bore the hell out of me.
Yeah, because they're not playing it for fun. They're playing it because they're angry because they got beat once, and this is what they went to. Like, what other reason is there? This isn't you playing the game. You're just like pressing a couple of buttons, and the cheats are doing the rest.
Do you know what this reminds me of? Genuinely. That's what it reminds me of. Tell me I'm wrong.
I'm afraid wall
Would-
hacks were long before this.
Oh, I know. But you cannot tell me that we're not coming to a point where it's effectively just going to be an AI fucking playing the game.
That wouldn't surprise me.
That would not surprise me if that is like the next system that gets put in for hackers. But this is just
What cracks me up though is how the devs anti-cheat that they make or use or whatever cannot pick that shit up.
Yeah.
You honestly gonna tell me that this guy getting nothing but headshots, every single person he shot at, every single hit that goes in them is a headshot, and it's not registered.
Oh, and it's
Like,
fucking
even
kernel level. So, to give you an understanding, kernel level is basically it operates on the same level as your fucking operating system. So instead
which
of running as
blows
an
me away
application,
even more. Blows me away even more that it can't detect it.
Exactly. Like, this should detect it. There's a reason a lot of people don't trust kernel level anti-cheat, because at the end of the day,
it has power over your system essentially.
Yeah, if someone
I
fucked
can
with
fully
that,
get
it wouldn't
behind
be
that.
comfortable. Yeah.
I'll take you to Rust again and how the anti-cheat is so bad. You get people that are cheating and they're shooting literally 1,000 bullets a second out of a gun and not having to reload. And it's like, how can this is the single most blatant form of cheating, because it is just simply not possible to do that. Yet this person is here doing it, and you're like, yeah, no, they're not cheating.
Yeah,
exactly. How's that not instantaneously picked up?
What does the driver examine on my PC? The driver monitors the machine and processors interacting with the game using Ricochet anti-cheat to determine if they are manipulating the game. This data helps identify cheaters as well as helps Ricochet anti-cheat team to strengthen the overall anti-cheating security. Yeah, well, there's these little things, guys, called injectors, where basically they don't have anything that is interacting with the game or using the game. What it does is it injects the code directly into the game's engine before it even is booted, and then makes Ricochet think, oh yeah, this is just a part of the game, don't worry about it. That's why they can bypass it with such ease.
Yeah.
It's so amazing.
And it clearly isn't getting better considering day one of your brand new game and there's already cheaters.
It's not even released yet, it's the beta.
Yeah.
Anyways,
I'll give you a brighter side to Black Ops 6. I did see a clip on TikTok of someone. I saw you can grab people and hold them captive for a short time.
And you can also talk to them.
Yeah, I saw a guy do that to someone who was try-harding, and he managed to grab a hold of him and was sitting yelling at him. It's the first day of the beta. Stop try-harding so much, and then executed him. And that was pretty entertaining. That was pretty entertaining to see.
I can respect that. Concord Sales are reportedly abysmal.
Oh,
I think
bring it up. Bring it up.
Got to do it. Da, 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 da.
73 players in game.
All-time peak. No,
that's tough.
This game obviously didn't come out that long ago.
Not that long ago at all.
24th of August. Who created it? Firewalk Studios. Publisher is Sony, so it's a Sony game.
Yes, another classic Sony publish.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at every other thing in Sony, their peaks are pretty high.
Pretty good, yeah, pretty good.
You know, I can't really complain. Oh, wait.
And then you get Concord.
Oh, wait, there's something worse.
Or whatever that is, apparently.
Damn. But that doesn't make sense. Oh, wait, what? Wait a minute. This no makes sense. Why has it got so many fucking followers, but so few players? Something about that doesn't add up. These like wish listers and stuff. So, what makes Concord so bad, Will? Like, from what we've seen, it's just a typical bullshit hero shooter.
Apologies.
It's okay. So, I've got a question for you, Will. What makes this game so bad? Because from what we've seen, it's just
I have not looked at it whatsoever.
Hero shooter. So, let's... Concord. For starters, it's £35. £50
for Sony, and that's pretty cheap.
Yeah, but this is just a hero shooter like fucking Overwatch. Actually, is it like Overwatch, or is it more a base of like what's it called? Not Vanguard, Valorant.
Ugh.
It seems to be a Valorant-esque game. Which,
it's sort of looking like it.
Now, I've got to ask the basic question. Why would I pay £35 to £50 when I can play Valorant for free? Like, something there doesn't add up. Join the crew of the North Star. Assemble your crew of free gunner space outlaws. Team up with friends online on PS5 and PC in Concord. What do you do, though?
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm not really sure what's going on. Is it? Is it PvP?
I think, yeah. It looks like a PvP. Yeah. So it's a round-based PvP game with.
I saw some of those screenshots look like you're running through a level fighting enemies, though.
But why did it take till there for something?
Like, what's that? Like,
that looks like an enemy, like on the other team. So that'll be like a hero that they can choose.
So lost.
Yeah. So the digital deluxe edition, which is £15 more, remember? For this, you get the base game, the free gunner pack, 16 character skins, Vale's Monarch pack, Vale's Monarch frontliner sniper skin, and Dead Reckoner weapon skin. That's £15, apparently. Yeah,
so we need to see the reviews of this to like get an understanding of what people are.
Yeah, it's a 5v5 PvP game. Let's have a look at the reviews then. Bought this cheap from CD site to farm Steam points by getting clown awards from a positive review. By the way, it's literally unplayable as due to lower player count. They're filling servers regardless of region, so the majority of players are playing on a red connection and cannot hit anything.
Someone's
bought this at a cheap price.
Someone put, I paid for this with real money.
Really? I paid for it with Monopoly money. Can you just
this is why I hate G2A, man. They're getting worse.
Don't worry, I have another site for this stuff.
Yeah.
You can't call that cheap.
So, no, GTA is always a rip-off, mate.
There's this one, All Key Shop. I highly recommend it to anyone. I don't get any pop-ups. I click the thing, and it tells me which storefront to go buy it from. So the cheapest I can find is £25.20. That is not fucking cheap enough.
$25.99 on CD keys, which is what I normally use.
Even that is not cheap enough.
Nope. I mean, you couldn't pay me to play this game, man.
Jesus Christ, my dude. What in the fuck you call this a... How have you played that long? Gameplay and rounds are surprisingly fun. I found the different roles to be quite engaging so far.
That's got to be a paid review.
Or a dev,
or a bot.
just a bunch of lifeless game modes and uninspired maps. There's character roles, but no role queue. Nothing to grind towards, like a ranked mode. Gameplay is okay, at best. I don't know, $40? Just go play free Overwatch, and it's far better than whatever the heck this is trying to be. It's a mix of Overwatch, Paladins with TF2. All three of those games are free, and you won't be forced to the most unappealing characters ever put in a game. This game is trash. Sony wants me to connect to their my account with the PSN and agree with their EULA. And yes, I at least tried to read through some of it, through most of it. There's some form of arbitration and wants me to read on another link for more info on it. Knowing how Sony handles user data and how spectacular they secured your data, I wouldn't be surprised if people get hacked with their info being leaked. Also,
Team Fortress 2 link.
To superior.
Can we get a Steam DB of TF2 right now?
You sure you want me to do this?
Yep.
Okay.
And that's compared to Concord.
He asked this. We got to do it. So TF2 isn't even in this list. Just as a heads up to everyone. Counter-Strike is. Counter-Strike is always in that list.
Oh, Counter-Strike will never leave that list because it's just a market. It's not a game.
Pretty much.
How old is TF2? What's the release date of this?
That's a very good question, you know.
How old's it at nowadays? Let me just quickly get.
So that's 2008. 2007. September 2007.
So it is a 17-year-old game, and it's still got how many players in game right now? 60,000.
60,000.
61 basically, and
this game came out on the 23rd.
Came out 8 days ago, and it can't even hit triple digits.
It did, and
it did,
and then this catastrophe.
It will never again.
It seems like it does at one point in the day, and then it just dies again.
Well, it's been slowly going down, so I think it will continue to go down, and then it will probably be removed.
Well done, TF2, though.
Quarter of a mil, only. Non-stop that game.
Always keeps going. It doesn't matter what goes on, TF2 will live. Now, if I recall correctly, there was someone who tried saying that I believe it was Concord was a better game than Black Myth Wukong.
I mentioned it at the start. I don't know how, considering right now their all-time peak was 2.4 million.
If I recall right as well, they voted it higher on like a review on a review site. It was either them or someone else. I don't recall. Trying to recall what video I saw this in. Some guy.
The one I saw was StarWars Outlaws being.
That was it.
Was rated a 7, and Gollum was a 5, I believe.
Let's see if I can find this. Wasn't IGN? There was someone at Screen Rant. That was it. They pretty much annihilated their bloody entire standing in the video games industry. Don't get me wrong, I don't like this guy, nor do I care what he's got to say, but he's got the information I was after here. So they rated Star Wars Outlaws a 4 out of 5.
It's not even close to that.
Rich and detailed open world, satisfying combat and exploration, and plenty of references to wider Star Wars lore. Some pacing issues regarding compulsory upgrade missions. What? Some sections feel like they restrict the game's open world. Now, there's a reason we'd not discuss this week, and that's because I need a week to at least get to this game.
I don't think you want to, Rory.
Oh, I need to. I already have my Skull and Bones for the year. That's my hatred. level.
To give you
But-
some insight of what I saw, because I think I've seen more of this game than you have. The
Oh, probably.
animations are absolutely awful. The hair flaps around in cutscenes like it's they've got a fan blowing at their face.
Yeah.
The bugs of just general gameplay, you're just getting flung around the place, falling through the map, launching in the air.
Mhm.
The combat is just it would be a better game if it had no combat, to be completely honest. The way you attack, even with your guns, you just sit and just lay into them, and they either just flop over weirdly, or they just stand there looking at you. The melee combat, you are not making any contact at all, but you are knocking them out. What else is there? Graphically, it doesn't look that great. It's very basic. It's just rocks and sand. And the open world, this guy is very wrong about the open world. I have not seen much happening in it.
Yeah. No, on the other hand,
it's just all round an awful game.
And on the other hand, you've got Black Myth Wukong, which is do I need to say any more?
No, sir. No, you do not.
So, combat is fluid and fun. Cinematography can be breathtaking at times. Great diversity in items and mechanics. Game performance is unpolished. Gameplay becomes repetitive over time. And I'm leaving this one till last because I can't believe they have to fucking say this, considering it's based on Chinese mythology. Lacking in inclusivity and diversity. Are you fucking... Can't say those words on the internet, Rory.
I'm not sure this person has a brain, Roy.
No, neither am I. Neither am I. So, you know what?
And if the game performance is unpolished, I'd be willing to bet he's got a mediocre system and he's put everything on maximum for a game that has probably got fairly demanding graphics.
I want the rough player count. There's got to be somewhere.
What's it even released on? I never even looked.
Everything. From what I know, but it's on Ubisoft for PC, which is
so alas, SteamDB cannot help us here.
Yeah, it's one of the few times it can't. But you know what?
So sad.
Thinking about it, there's something SteamDB can do.
Yeah, it's got the other ones. Yeah.
So I'm curious if I go.
What?
Oh dear. Okay. Yeah, high popularity that. Move
All right,
on
that was
to
a bust.
This one can't even find it. This one can't find it either. Okay. Guess we're stumped.
It's not had enough players to be recorded, I guess.
Something like that, yeah.
I was saying you probably get a better judgment off of fucking TikTok.
Yeah, probably could. But you know what?
You can get a very small amount, I guess.
Let's just look at the reviews of this in comparison, shall we?
Give us check the minimum specs real quick, just to see, because that guy's saying the performance isn't great.
16 gig of RAM, 6 gig.
You only need 6 gig
max on AMD. HDD supported, but SSD is recommended, so go with an SSD.
Right. The recommended is a 2060.
Were tested with DLSS, FSR, and XeSS enabled, so make sure you've got a 30 series card at the minimum.
Right, but that's with those options enabled. Yeah. But the recommended is a 2060. Otherwise,
yeah. Oh, sorry. Just basically make sure you got an RTX card if you can.
Yeah. Which I would say people who are wanting to have visualize pretty demanding graphics are gonna have an RTX card.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Or equivalent.
But this is not much, really.
No, it's not. So now I'm wondering what system that guy plays on.
But that's the thing. They won't tell us that information. That information is always lacking. So I feel like I've got to do this, which is just going to hurt me on a physical level. Ugh, I did the thing.
Apparently, input delay.
Input
That's got to
delays, input's not
be
registering.
their own side. Input delays. I can't imagine that.
Yeah, considering it's like typically your fucking USB ports or your controller or whatever isn't very fucking good. After 30 minutes and declared it a Gertie, I actually played the game. What do you mean?
So he's saying graphics and perform are beautiful but buggy and crash multiple times, leaving character out a constant silhouette of artifacts. It at least had very little frame drops.
Gameplay, boss rush game, nothing more, nothing less. Combat is pretty to look at. Basically stays the same the whole game. Maybe that's why people hype it so much, because of the fun at start, but it gets very boring real quick. 95% of the bosses are one-shot pushovers, which you will have forgotten about 5 minutes after killing them. The other fights where every boss has at least two health bars, as well as transition phases that make them immune to you, but they can still attack, blah, 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 blah. Absolutely terrible skill tree. So, wait a question. So, you're saying people didn't play it for longer than half an hour, yeah?
Go to positive. 37, 17, 5, 108, 36, 30, 25, 1.5.
Kind of got that one.
10, 25. I mean, you're going to get ones like that. You always do. But like a lot of these are, we got a couple with them over 100, and it seems to be average 30 plus.
Yeah.
20 plus at least.
We're starting to drop a bit there, but yeah, most
What's
of them.
Do we have like an average completion time?
I can find one.
And probably won't be very accurate because it's not that old, but I'm sure we can probably get something.
Go to my How Long to Beat website. Adore this thing. Okay. So apparently the main story is 33.5 hours. Main plus side is 40 hours. Completion is 61 hours. And all styles 41.5 hours. It's not extremely long, but it's not fucking short by any shape or form.
A good length of time. What's the price tag for it? 45 did I see? I feel like
50.
49, 50. Yeah. That's pretty good for 33 hours versus the 70 for 3 hours.
I'd agree with that. 80 hours is the slowest full completion. You are one slow gamer. And 11 hours, 5 minutes is the fastest.
Some games I could take an extremely long time because I get distracted just running around killing enemies that respawn.
See, I'm the opposite. I can complete games quite quickly.
I can do both. But there's nothing stopping me getting distracted, you know? Oh, God.
Some of this episode's probably going to get cut, but what? No. That's a joke, right? Nah, that's got to be a joke. Like, that's got to be, right?
Don't know what to tell you, Chief. Maybe it's because people are crashing. The save points are like 6 hours back and they have to redo it all.
The only thing I can tell you guys is pretty much Concord, gone to shit. Black Myth Wukong, doing pretty well.
Clearly.
StarWars Outlaws needs to stop breathing for good.
Pretty much. Black Myth
Wukong
has proven itself with the numbers. Like, nothing needs to be said about it.
Yeah, I'm going to
If you have any issues, they can typically be solved because it wouldn't have 1.4 million players right now with a peak of 2.4. If it had severe issues like that.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I am going to try and get my hands on Star Wars Outlaws for this next week.
I personally don't think you should torture yourself like that, but if you want to,
mate,
my
I
guess,
played
I
the
suppose.
game I cannot mention.
Hey, that's technically mentioning it.
You know what I'm on about.
Yeah.
Yeah, I played that. If I can play that, I'm sure I can cope with Star Wars Outlaws.
I very much look forward to the day that you find what beats that game. It'll happen. It'll happen. It has to happen because it's just inevitable. Could it take 10 years? Without a doubt. But my God, the day it happens, I don't think I will talk in the episode. I think I will ask you a question at the start, which will be, so, how did fill in game name here go? And then I will just sit back, put my hands together, grab a bucket of popcorn, and enjoy the episode.
Yeah, that's pretty fair.
In case you, I don't think you were going to mention this, so I'll mention it quickly. Speaking of games of such, Skull and Bones, as I mentioned to you earlier, is now down to £20.
Yeah, I wasn't going to mention it because it's not as bad as the game that shall not be named, but it's definitely close.
Not a game. It's ride around and press a few buttons like a mobile game, as we discussed.
I genuinely believe what I did earlier on bloody Microsoft Paint was better.
Rory.
Well,
I'd like to point out as well. Let me just double check something on Google. It was only put on Steam 9 days ago.
Oh. That's nice.
It was put really, Skull and Bones really nice. Was added to Steam 9 days ago and is already on a 60% sale at £20.
And it's on for 64% positive. This is the most awful computer game I have seen in existence since the dawn of the genre. And I say that having played since Apple IIe, the 80s, absolute garbage is what this is. You know what? I respect that guy and fully support him. Speechless. Love it. Yeah, I agree, except not about the game, but about that guy's comment. Yeah, the day I find something worse than that game is the day this podcast will be demonetized and kicked off of YouTube.
Oh, God. Well, we best hope there's a platform for that sort of talk, I guess.
I'll probably just make a website.
But does everyone have to send you their ID to get access?
No.
You just spend every living, waking moment looking at IDs. and internet bouncer is what you will become.
Fucking hell, that'd be an interesting life. No, thank you.
God.
But yeah, I think I've covered everything that I wanted to for this week.
And then some.
Yeah, it's a 1.5 hour episode this week.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a lengthy one, but there was just so much. It's going to end up being cut down. I can assure you of that. But we'll just have to wait and see. I might end up cutting off, that beginning section.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
Well, whatever makes it in, makes it in.
Exactly. So, if you see this, good for you. If you don't, leave us alone. Stop. Go away.
No, don't go away. Don't tell them to go away. Come back.
But no, I think that's everything. So we shall end this episode here then. In that case, thank you all for watching. If you have enjoyed, feel free to follow, like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. Join the Discord in the comment section. I did recently find out, whenever we say subscribe in the video, Will,
yeah,
it actually highlights the YouTube subscribe button and makes it all flashy.
So should we just be spending our time just like while you're talking? So I sit in the background just going, subscribe, subscribe, subscribe.
I mean, it'd be an interesting little test, wouldn't it?
I think I would lose my voice 5 minutes in.
Oh yeah, you would. But no, that is an actual feature. I was watching someone else and realized every time they said subscribe, it like highlights the button and makes it all flashy and rainbowy. It's weird. It's cool, but weird. But no.
There you are, I guess.
Yeah.
Rory needs to mentally check himself.
Yeah, I do.
So thanks everybody for watching.
We
Feel
will
free to
see
join
you
the
all.
Discord. Leave any comment you want. And we'll see you guys next week.
See you all next week, guys. Bye for now.